beautiful viewers, once again welcome to the operation. This is Discovering World Channel. Thank you for your comments you've made so far in the comments and also your contribution. I really appreciate it so much because I know many of you have been here why for some time now I've not been able to send a video to my channel when it is not actually my fault. I've been so busy to also do research on some new area which I know it will be immense benefit to my viewers. Now today I'm going to talk about how you can make money using a flame generator. You know, a flame generator is not just generating light alone, but there are things you can also do so you can make money from the generator. So we're going to look at these things. We're going to look at what you can use this energy which you generated from the generator, what you can use it for so that you can go to make money out of it, rather than just sitting at home, enjoy the light and you're also lacking money. Because if you don't pay the bills, there should be something that will be left over for you to do for something to help yourself. Now we're going to look at, first of all, I'm going to look at some comments which some people also give to the channel, which I want to review it. I want to answer some questions which many people, because I've asked people to always send the comments to the channel so that I can answer the question for the benefit of everybody. Because I've been receiving calls from many people about particular questions, I told them to please send it to the channel so that I can be able to answer for all everybody and answer individually. Now after that we look at also there's some practical videos which I want you to also see, which is also very important. I know you will like it, and thereafter conclude the matter. Now let's go ahead and look into the issue of the day. Let me take some comments here. I have a few comments here, but it's very important. Let us talk about this one, which was from RF. He said, can you be more specific on the motors, generators, the BESS, the flyway, a sort of BOM, and set of manual, then result published in a clear way how much energy you put in and how much energy you get out of it. How long does it take? Can you get when RF actually, you know, if you follow this trend of this Frenergy project, you know that I've explained in many occasions different function of the motor generator, the flyway, and also the motor. And also I also ask many of my subscribers who need the books on this to also send requests, and I'll send to them, because this energy of a team, many people have found difficult understanding it, because you know there is a level of comprehension. So if you don't really understand all this method, please, I will also advise you to subscribe and get a book out of it so you can read it and understand it, because I've shown everything, I've explained in details. I've used so many production to explain different functions of this, but since you don't really understand, right? But let me just use a few instances which I put here. Now you can see here we have about 10 kVA generator, and also that if you want to generate 10 kVA generator, for instance, you have half a kVA generator which you want to generate light from, what you should require to help you to run this is about 2.5 kilowatts motor. Yes, if you have 2.5 kilowatt motor, you should be able to cover the 10 kVA generator which you want, or maybe you want to generate 10 kVA light maximum speed, maximum current, you want to use 10 kVA. Then if you have 2.5 kilowatts motor, you should be able to carry it. And then the speed ratio of that motor should not be less than 2850, like the RMP. I've talked about that. Then the flyway should be heavy. I use the word heavy because I don't want to be specific about kg or all that. No, the flyway should be, because if I give you a specification, you might not have that specification, but it is better for you to have a flyway that is heavy and can be able to carry all your work. And just depend on the particular specification. I don't consider that to be very correct. Now I talk about the bed. I said the bed is also depend on the flyway, because the flyway space determines the kind of bed you can use in that operation. So if you're going to do that, look at the flyway, then the flyway alone should specify the kind of bed you will use. So I have given you as this one is another instance, but this one can also help you to answer these questions you ask. Now let me go to the next person, which is Chukhad. Chukhad like saga. I know you might be an Indian, you're from Indian or Pakistan, any of them. But I want you to ask a question here. Say, specify the dimension, width, material of the flywheel, place, and other driving force to operate the generator. When I talked about the flywheel already, so the weight of the flywheel is all depends on what you're going to produce. But I always advise people to go for heavy flywheel. I will not tell you specification. You can go for maybe this, I don't know, because if I give you that specification, as I said earlier, you may not be able to get that specification, and that will be a constraint to generator. It may be a difficulty for you to get it, and that will lead you to produce. So instead, look for a flywheel that is heavy. If it's heavy and also can be able to run as speed as you are, it's okay. It doesn't really, flywheel does not really have too much. What you should talk about considering most is the generator and the motor, the specification, and the most important, the RPM, which is the speed ratio, is what you should be considering. Not mostly putting emphasis on the flywheel aspect, because the flywheel is always store the kinetic energy which you need. But what you need most is the generator and the motor. Now let me go to the next person here. And this person is Bramud. Your question here is, it was one of my ideas that you're referring to generator, one of my ideas too when I was in ITI 1996. Unfortunately, our colleagues and instructor 1996 disagree with me. Even I talked this idea with several engineers and learned them, but response was sad. Now I am very happy to see the idea executed. You were very well. Thank you very much. I make a comment here. I say never allow anyone to kill your idea. Idea is divine revelation. See, let me use a story of the Wright brothers. There was a time that there was an idea, that they have an idea that they want to see an object flying on the air. There are some engineers, there are people opposed in early 1900s. So it's not possible that an object will fly on air. That will breed the law of gravity, not the law of gravity. No, people don't believe things, and most importantly, the idea they don't understand. But I want to advise you, as I said earlier, don't allow anyone to kill your idea. If you have an idea that you know is good, and people don't believe the idea, please go ahead and implement your idea. You see, whatever you are able to convince people on, when people see the result, they will believe the idea. There was a time there was no computers, Microsoft and Bill Gates coming, and they went to take a computer that will be portable and run. And many people don't believe them. And when the result came out, some believe. So sometimes people will not believe you, but when you have the good result, they tend to believe you when you have the result. So that's how humans are. Now let's go to Augustus. Question is, how do I control the speed of the current? The speed of the current is too high and the motor runs at full speed. Well, I will advise you, as long as energy is concerned, you can control the speed by introducing more load. If you have high speed pressurize, if your voltage is too high, I advise you to introduce what we call speed control, or you can also introduce what we call even load. Let's bring out some loads that will step out because when the generator is overloaded, the speed ratio will reduce. It will reduce the rate at which the generator runs. So as you can control the speed by applying more load. And I believe this as I answer some few questions in the channel, which I believe many of you want to hear from. Now I want to also encourage many of you that have been calling me through phone and WhatsApp. Please, I will advise you to send comment to this, and I go into the comments. If you send comment, I'll be able to answer the question, and everybody here who go to the video again will benefit. It's not easy for you to be answering individual questions and expect me to answer. Some people are complaining that I don't be answering their question for long. No, I do go through the questions and don't answer, and from now on I will be making sure that all the questions are answered at least twice a week, because I know people my subscribers. I don't want to keep them into an absent situation. I want them to follow up with what I'm doing now. Yes, now let's go back to the business of the day. How you can make more money using the free energy generator, and I listed about 4 ways you can make more money using the free energy generator method, because many people don't understand that this free energy generator is not just something you use as a fully fun, but you use it as a way of improving your life. For instance, if you are not paying bills, there should be a returns of money. For if you were paying bill of, let me say, $100 a month, and then now you be able to manufacture your own generator that gives you light, and the bill is absolutely removed, then you should keep that money for something different. You should use that money for better things. That is what we're talking about today, how you can convert to use the free energy generator to make more money. So like what I said, don't pay for bill, get energy through the free energy generator, and then convert the money which you have to another thing, like selling your product. Now come to here, I say sell light through product. Now some government policies don't allow you to sell light, like the individual, the neighbors, and other things, but there are other ways you can do that. You can sell light through what? Selling products, like on this something, this yogurt, and it's on the fridge. Now you are not paying bills on that fridging. In other words, if this is doing fridge using your free energy, you are already selling the light. And indirectly you are selling this light, because you are the people who come and buy this yogurt, and then it's chill, and they will happy, and they will drink it, and they will say thank you, it's okay, and then from there you make more money. So you can turn your free energy generator into a business firm by doing what we call products manufacturing and distribution, and then you get more money from that system. I can also say generate more light and more products. Now if you have product you are selling, for instance, now I have this yogurt which is on sale, for instance, and then I have only one fridge that is selling it now, and have free energy generator that can carry about 10 fridge at the same time, or 10 freezer. Why don't you produce more? Yes, because the more you produce, the more money you make. So why don't you produce more? Because the light is there, it's not wasted. You're not paying through any meters or paying any NEPA bill or any electrical bill. So therefore it's easier for you to produce more this or this. That's why I say generate more light and more product, so you have more money. That is a form of making more money. If you generate more light, you have more money. But if you don't want to generate more light, you have more money. So generate more light, so you have more money. And I say continue with the methods and keep improving. You see, the improvement is very important, because ideas are not fixed. When you have an idea, after some time you try to improve the ideas, trying to bring new things on it, so that it will be a better way of doing it. That's why I say keep improving. You must always keep improving your idea you have. For instance, you are doing energy production, try to bring in new things, after some time improve, and that's how you keep making more money through that system. So
kita nyalakan motornya menggunakan PLN tunggu sampai kisarannya
generator. you. Thank you for watching. I'm so blessed for this video. Subscribe to the channel for more operation. God